Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's the Tang Gang. Yeah, it's the Tang Gang. Tang Gang. It's the Tang Gang. Tang Gang. Yeah, it's the Tang Gang. Tang Gang. Yeah, it's the Tang Gang. Tang Gang. Yeah, it's the Tang Gang. Yeah, it's the Tang Gang. Tang Gang. Tang Gang. Tang Gang. Yeah, it's the Tang Gang. Yeah, I got an idea. Let's take these beliefs and bad ideas and let's stack them up. Stack them up and see if these people can back them up. And if not, this is what you can do, is just pack them up and go on your way. Cause you should have known, everybody at Tang, we don't play now. Yeah, we need that evidence. We need that evidence to make shit relevant. So what you saying? What you saying, man? Can you prove it? What you doing? Let's do it. Y'all already know. Y'all already know. Tang Gang. 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 Y'all already know. Y'all already know. Tang Gang.
Epistemology. You ever heard of it?
Called?
Street epistemology.
No, I love it. What is it?
It's basically talking about deeply held beliefs. Could be some people, we talk about aliens, could be God, could be ghosts, and we just get down to what are the methods that we use to arrive.
Are you doing a paper on it or something, or a thesis?
We have a YouTube channel.
Oh.
What's it
Okay.
called?
So, what's that?
What's it
How do I
called?
find you?
It's Tang, T-A-N-G, so just remember the orange drink.
Okay.
Oh, I love Tang. It cleans your dishwasher too.
Hey, Orioles fan?
Yes, big time.
We're
They
originally
say
from
that.
Baltimore.
Oh, okay. My cousin lives out there. Yep.
Oh,
Yeah, she
nice.
when Ripken broke the record, she sent us all the local newspapers and all that.
Cool.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yes,
Oh.
we were born and raised there, so.
Yeah, I wore number 8 from when I got out of T-ball, when I started wearing numbers all the way through my whatever year of high school that I got done playing. So,
Awesome.
Yep.
Awesome.
That was his number.
Number
I was
8.
just trying to figure out what the hell you're talking about.
I thought number 8 was whose number?
No,
How
Ripken Jr.
Ripken.
Oh, he's got the blue eyes, real pretty blue
Yeah,
eyes.
yeah.
Yeah, and he's a lot older looking now than
The Orioles just beat my Tigers 5-2, by the way. People say your phone doesn't. Is that it?
no, that's Wu-Tang. We just rebranded.
Okay.
Put in the Atheist Roundtable. I bet you that'll pull it.
The
Atheist Roundtable. And we do all kinds of different stuff on there. So there's SE, which is street epistemology. We have one-on-one interviews. We have one on Thursdays. It's comedy. So
Very good.
All right.
Thanks.
Thanks, guys.
Appreciate it.
Yep.
Good night.
what's up, everybody? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
He sort of is. The breed is a little bit of this. The production. They're big, yeah. I mean, they're like, they're done. He lets little kids hang all over them. Rabbits and kitty cats, but it's.
Okay, so yeah, you guys can hear me. Yeah, so we had a couple of tech issues. Well, first of all, hello everybody. I had a couple tech issues there when I was first setting up, and then Mrs. Oz wasn't feeling too hot, so her friend was here hanging out with us, so she was taking her home so she can rest. And then, of course, as soon as I was getting ready to go live, there was an ambulance that pulls up literally right in front of me. Sirens blaring and all that, but they're gone now. So I got started, what, about an hour and a half later than I wanted. But we're here. We'll see. We'll see what happens. What's up, man? So we have both views when I finally do get somebody, if we do get somebody that wants to come. What's that? So we have a YouTube channel. We do what's called street epistemology. It's basically we talk to people about deeply held beliefs and what methods we use to arrive to that belief. So usually we talk about if somebody believes in a god or a deity, things like that. All right, yeah, come holler at me. And Randy, yes, it would not be a Tang. It wouldn't be a Tang thing if we didn't have some tech issues.
Okay.
Jeff, for my first time out, I have my MacBook with the regular built-in camera, and then facing the interlocutor. If I get one here, it's the 720, I think, Logitech, and that's it right now for my first time. So.
Just kidding.
Okay, thank you. Pasta just saw that, so I will do that. And Dolittle, I'm actually I don't know if this is everywhere, but Xfinity, if you're a customer, a paying customer, they have like the hotspots throughout the city, and I'm using that. And I checked the speeds. I can't remember what they were now, but they're pretty solid.
Yeah. Oh yeah. How long have you had it?
All right, let me know if that helps with the glitching or anything. I dropped it down.
4 hours a day we just push around.
Boom, roasted.
Yeah, he comes here to hunt for scraps. So yeah, he's got all these restaurants.
I was gonna say you wash them up.
Whatever he wants, whatever I let him have.
Funny thing is, I meant to get Tic Tacs, and I forgot.
$12 worth of brisket for him every day. He's
Well, but
better
he's
than I
looking
do.
in your pocket.
Yeah, he
Like,
knows
what's in
it's
there?
street.
I am I'm downtown Fort Wayne. I'm right next to this area that
Probably
is usually hopping. It's they just revamped this entire area. It's beautiful down here, and then behind me and to my right, there's a beautiful park, which I would have loved to set up there, but this time of night it gets because all the trees there gets really dark. So where I'm set up here, I think there's good enough lighting, and there's about 8 bars, all within walking distance here. So I might even get a couple of
He said, he
tipsies.
literally put a bucket of water on his head and said, "Do you want to try?" He literally asked, "Do you want to try?" And I said, "Yeah."
Thanks, Bryce. Appreciate that. I feel a lot better than I did yesterday. Let's say that yesterday was probably my roughest day yet. But yes, today I feel much better. Yep, Mrs. Oz said, "Get the fuck out of here. Go do your damn YouTube on the streets."
Imagine if they had this little.
Oh, the shops, Jody. Yeah.
Thank you, Dolittle. I appreciate that. Bryce, well, I don't know, it's tough to say. My brother seems to be doing okay. My stepdad still seems to be kind of, he's like a zombie on another, kind of living on another planet right now. I mean, understandably so to a certain point, but he's still searching for approval, or what have you. Not approval. That's it's not the right word. Validation of prophecies and things like that.
Is that live stream? Are you live
Yep.
streaming?
You want to say hi?
Yeah, kind of.
Here,
Yeah,
go,
oh,
here,
are
go
you
over
taking
here.
a video? Yeah. Hey, what's up?
Nope, I do interviews.
Oh,
about
okay.
what?
I don't really want to be interviewed, but
I won't interview you, but you can be live.
What's up? Peace.
Oh, what are you interviewing about?
I do street epistemology. Basically what it is people have deeply held beliefs. We interview, talk about it. How did you arrive to that belief? So whether it's ghosts, God, aliens, things like that.
God, you'd be good person. God,
Carson's
right
good
here.
for that. Carson's
God.
good for that.
He's a good
I don't know if I want to be
Seriously.
interviewed.
Yeah, be interviewed. Yeah,
It's friendly.
What questions would you ask?
Again, methodology, the method and how you arrived to the belief.
You don't want to talk about God?
I do,
Talk
but
about
like,
God.
And I don't debate. I don't like debates.
Well, thank you. Let's talk about God.
Here, I get another chair for you.
yeah, give me a chair.
I'll sit here with you.
Okay. Yeah, peace out here. Peace out. I don't know. That's kind of cool.
All right. Well, first, my name's Austin. So, what was your name?
Karsten.
What was it?
Karsten.
Karsten. All right. You from Fort Wayne?
Yeah.
Yeah. Whole life? Went to school here?
Pretty much.
Okay. Okay. And then, so I always like to be specific and make sure there's no talking past each other, misunderstanding on terms or anything like that. So when you say God, is there a specific God that you adhere to?
Jesus Christ.
So God of the Bible? Okay. And have you been a believer in God your entire life? Was it later in life? Whole life. So did you grow up as your family in church and things like that? Is that how you? Okay.
Okay.
All right, and then when you think God, do you think God is someone that is active in your day-to-day life and influences your decisions and how you live your life?
I think so. For sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, and then I like to use a scale. So we'll go 1 to 10. So 0, 0 to 10. 0 being absolutely there's no way God exists, and 10 being I know that I know for a fact that God exists. Where would you fall on that scale? 10. And can you think of anything that would rattle or shake that 10? And then why? What is it that convinces you that God is real? What convinced you or persuaded you, or whatever word we want to plug in there, that God exists?
Nothing really convinced me. It's faith.
Faith?
Yeah.
Okay. And again, I always want to be, especially with the word faith, I want to make sure we have definitions, because I hear different definitions all the time, because there's the dictionary definition, ultimate, trust, trust in someone or something. And then there's the Bible, Hebrews 11:1 definition. Faith is the substance of things hoped for, evidence of things not seen. Which one do you? There's no wrong answer there. I just want to make sure we're talking on the same lines. Which definition would you agree with?
I would say, I think I've actually been. So I think this is a spiritual gift. But I think I've been gifted with the spiritual gift of childlike faith. So childlike faith is you just believe. There's no reason why you believe me. So
Okay.
I think I have a childlike faith.
Okay, that was loud. And I have to apologize. It's completely rude. What was your name? Amanda. All right. So you said childlike faith. So you believe. Just to make sure I heard it right. You believe with no reason or no good reason.
Childlike faith is you couldn't explain it, but you just believe. And
Okay.
there's not a lot that can shake a child. If you tell a child what they should believe, they're probably not going to believe what they want to believe.
Okay.
So in my eyes, I have childlike faith. You're not going to tell me
Okay.
why I shouldn't believe that. I'm just going to believe it anyway.
Okay. No, thank you for being honest, because a lot of times when we get into faith, people will give me a runaround, on what it is or what it means to them, or that sort of thing. Now, that form of faith, the childlike faith, would you or do you apply that to any other area of your life?
I'm pretty analytical about any other decision.
Okay, that's very interesting to me. So why?
All areas of life. I look at the Bible, I look at God, how He made it examples, and how you should live, how you should treat, how you should talk to other people. And that's the way I see it.
Okay. So if we take the book, take the book, so the Bible and God, and we put it over here in its own thing over here, is whether it's work, relationships, whatever, would we apply that same type of faith to any other area of your life?
I would say probably not. If it's something that's worldly, I'm gonna be very analytical. I'm gonna look at the conditions and say, okay, is this how do I treat the situation? But when it comes to my Christianity, when it comes to my spiritual life, I'm pretty just hard-headed. I don't know.
Okay.
I'm not as analytical. I just believe. So.
Okay, and why do you think that the childlike faith is acceptable for a belief in a God, but not any other area?
Good question. Because I think anything that's happening around us, in this world, you can make an educated decision. You can look at what's going on. You can look at the factors in the situation and understand, this is what's going on. This is the decision I need to come to. But when it comes to your faith in Christianity, when things in the world are against you, it's very easy to say, okay, God's not with me. But when you had that childlike faith, you can say, okay, things aren't looking good, but I understand that God is still with me, and even though things aren't great, He still loves me, and He still has a kingdom in my life.
Okay, and so in that, and again, thank you for your consistent honesty and transparency. It makes the conversations much more enjoyable and helpful. So is there a way is there a way that you and I, or the three of us, can we test that faith to know that it's reliable?
I mean, I don't think there's any way to test the faith. I think it's just having faith, like believing in God. Like, I don't think there's any way to test that.
I'd say testing faith is not actually faith.
Yeah, I don't think there's any way to test it.
Okay, interesting. No, I like that answer. Because it kind of opens other doors. So, my first question would be, can faith, again, not just when we're talking about God, but any other area, can faith in and of itself lead us to both true and untrue things?
What do you mean by true and untrue?
Like, could faith, like, let's say I had faith that Santa Claus existed. I'm just using that as an example.
Yeah.
And then I come to find out later that even though I had faith in it and had a belief in it, it was still untrue. So can faith in every aspect of our life lead us to both? Yeah. Okay.
But I'd say that's a different faith that we're talking about. Like, I can have faith that I'm gonna wake up tomorrow. That's a different kind of faith than what we're talking about right now.
Okay. Go ahead. You're gonna say something.
No, go ahead.
So it is faith, whether it's the definition we agreed on, in the beginning, or this one, is faith a reliable pathway to truth? Can we know that it's true?
To me, I don't know that for sure, but the way I see it is faith is like treating people kindly, helping people, being there for people, and if in the end, like, I don't know how to explain it, but to me, like, I see the Bible, I see God as like treating people as equal, treating people with love, giving people, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
and I agree. All those things are awesome. We need more of that, but it is the faith or the belief in the God, is faith the reliable way to get us to the God? Before we even connect morality to God, we have to know that the method in which we're arriving to the God is reliable first. So that's why I'm trying to, because that word faith has always been one of my favorite words to discuss, because it's difficult. It's fun, but it's a difficult conversation to have. So that's why I always like to ask people that, because if faith in whatever form can lead us to true and or untrue things, why would any of us use that and that alone as the method to believe in a God that we can't test or have knowledge of, but only believe?
Right.
And like I said before, I think testing God is not faith. When you test God, it's okay, like, I want this result, and if I don't see this result, then it's not real. That's not truly faith.
Then how would we ever know? Take faith off the table. Then how would we ever know or have knowledge that God exists?
Know. That's the thing. You never
it's
know.
Faith. Like, we have the Word of God that's been given to us.
Yeah.
There's historical evidence that the Word of God brings truth. And
I think it honestly is like living day-to-day life, like trying to help people.
Hold on 1 second. I'm sorry. Wait for this guy to pass so that everybody can hear you. I don't think it was loud enough. He should turn it up.
Right.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I think it's just about being positive, helping people, like, day-to-day. And, like, what the end is, whether you go to heaven, hell, whatever, I don't know. Who knows? But it doesn't matter. Like, I feel like day to day, you should be trying your best
Oh, I
to
agree.
be the best person that you can be. Whether that be like being positive, helping other people, saying hi to someone, smiling. Like, that doesn't matter. Like, I think that's what you should do then.
And I like what you say about like it doesn't matter. So to me, like faith is like, so we live in a world today where like America is very divided, the world's very divided. Like, you know, you have Republicans, you have Democrats, and like it doesn't matter what side you're on, you're gonna find problems with what's going on in the world. So like my faith gives me a higher hope. So it doesn't matter what's going on in the world. I don't agree with it, and that doesn't matter because I have a higher hope that's above what is happening in this world. So, like, things can be happening that I don't agree with,
Okay.
and
No.
like I'm not gonna let that get to me because my hope is higher than that.
Yeah. No. And everything you guys said there, as far as how we treat each other as people and take care of each other, I'm all for it. You know, I guess my follow-up question that would be is God a necessity in that equation?
I think that God is a necessity. Yeah.
So if
Let's say
analogy,
God wasn't a thing.
yeah, that's what I'm
Say
saying.
that he wasn't a thing, and the Big Bang happened. Like, I wouldn't even know what to think of it, if that makes sense. Like, God is like, when I'm feeling down, I think, God, help me, like, help me process this moment, help me think through this, like, how can I make this better? You know what I mean?
Okay.
The Bible calls us to love each other, and I think if you so even if you don't believe in God, if you take God out of the equation, God's not even talked about. Let's just say he's never even talked about. What's the purpose for us being here? We're going to live very selfish lives.
Yeah.
We're not going to love each other.
Selfish lives, for sure.
We're not going to love each other.
Selfish.
I'm not going to care about what you're doing in your life. I'm not going to give one crap about what you're doing.
Because
there's no, like, I'm not being called to love, right? I'm not being called to anything. So I'm going to live my life to whatever interests me. I'm not going to want to do something that's going to help benefit someone else. But God calls us to love. And like God calls us to do things sometimes that we don't want to do, but it's going to show love. And that's, I think, why, like, I think that people that don't even recognize that God exists, like, they live unselfish lives because, like, they feel the need to, like, love on other people. And maybe they don't recognize that God exists, but they still recognize that there's a need to love on people. And they only have that feeling because it does exist.
Okay. No, that's great. And yeah, I could go on for 2 hours talking about that. But I'll ask one, maybe two more questions, and I'll let you guys get to dinner or whatever. And I won't hold you up. But hypothetically speaking, let's say tomorrow there's a discovery or science somehow proves and can demonstrate that there's yep. I told him one more question when we're done. And they can show and demonstrate that there's not just the Bible God, no gods exist tomorrow. Okay, so you've lived your life up to this point. Do you automatically start becoming a worse person tomorrow?
I wouldn't believe it.
What's that?
I said I wouldn't believe it.
I wouldn't say worst person.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If it was like, it could be demonstrated, like there's no denying. You know, we couldn't deny that. Okay, these things don't exist, and we now we know that it's a fact. Would that automatically? Would you become a worse person or decrease in your morality just because you found that out?
No.
I don't know how to answer that question because I don't know how to answer that question.
Okay, that's fair enough. I will. I'll write the name of our channel down for you. That way, if you guys want to go back and watch this or whatever later, you can.
Yeah. So what prompted you to start this? What's going on?
Well, a couple different things. There's a gentleman named Anthony Magnabosco. He's on YouTube, and he's down in Texas, and he does this, and I fell in love with it. Just because it's friendly conversations, and I love talking to people about why they believe what they believe. I think it's fascinating. So I do that. And obviously we have our YouTube channel where this is our, now because of COVID and everything, this is the first time I can get out and do it in person, but we've been doing interviews similar to this, but on, digitally, for a year and a half or now, whatever it's been. And then I was a Christian for 34 years ish. And then I came out as an atheist about 3-4 years ago. So I still love.
So what made you come out as an atheist?
To give you the short version, I come from a line of pastors and ministers, and my mom was a music pastor, and it finally hit me one day that I'd never really sat down with a critical eye. And what I mean by critical is really examining the book, but then my faith. And that's why I love talking about that, because I really had to dig into mine and figure out where this was coming from, why I believed. And once I started finding and noticing a lot of the gaps, a lot of the issues within the text, that's what started to shake my belief. And what's that?
What gaps?
Oh, do you have time?
Yeah,
I
we
do.
have time.
Yeah.
We have all the time.
I'll stay
I don't
here.
care.
Okay.
This is important.
I was about to say that I know they're sitting there waiting. And when I say gaps and holes, I mean issues that I have. So first of all, like slavery, in the Bible, mutilation of young children, genocide.
Old Testament or New Testament?
Old Testament.
Old Testament. Well, slavery is in the New and the Old Testament. And to me as a Christian,
I think honestly, God is like a test. He's testing us all the time.
And sorry, go ahead.
I feel like God is testing us all the time. Like,
so the Bible is very specific, right? So God is selfish. He's a selfish God. He wants glory. He wants glory. He wants the glory, right? So he wants people to be devout, and he wants people who are going to be devoted to the faith, people who are going to serve him, rather than, okay, like, I kind of believe in God, like, if I say I believe in God, like, okay, if I die, I'm going to go to heaven. That's not real faith. Like, real faith is, my daily life doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if, like, my spouse dies. Like, I'm going to still believe in God and believe that, like, there's a plan for that, and God will somehow use that
no
for good.
remorse.
Yeah, he will somehow use that for good. Like, I'm at a point in my faith where, like, I could lose my job. I could lose both my parents in a crazy accident. I could lose everyone around me. And I would still have faith because, like, God is...
That was for a purpose.
Yeah. Like, God has a bigger plan. And it's something that I don't understand. Like, I may never understand it. And maybe sometimes I'll get frustrated that I don't understand it. But, like, I'm on earth, I have an earthly body, and I have an earthly mind, and someday I will understand it. But, like, right now, maybe I don't, but I have to have faith that it is for a better place.
And see, for me, I need personally to have a belief or a conviction. I need more than I need more than the book, and I need more than faith. I don't apply faith to any other area of my life. So why would I do it there? And that's how I got to where I'm at.
What more do you need?
I mean, I could. There's there's a lot of atheists that'll be extreme, and ask for crazy stuff. But
you're being rude to them.
No, go ahead, because this is
Yeah,
pretty into like.
All your friends are in there waiting right now.
That's fine. They can wait.
Just get up. Come on.
Just order without us.
You've been out here for like 30 minutes.
I'm like pretty.
I understand, but you can come back a different time or something.
Okay.
Come on.
I'll come.
Come on.
Like 10 minutes.
Amanda.
Please, Chase.
No, I appreciate you doing this. It's cool, but come on, guys. Come on.
We're having a
No,
really good
come on,
conversation.
Chase.
We are actually having a good conversation.
No, I'm not joking. Like,
You guys are pissing all of them off, so come on.
go order.
They have ordered. That's what I'm saying. They're going to be
That's
done before
fine.
you guys are
I
done.
don't care. I'm not hungry. This is important.
We're having a good conversation.
All right. See you guys.
Sorry about that. Say the
oh,
question.
you're good. You're good. Sorry, I just realized I knocked my camera. Oh, what would I need? That's I think about that all the time because I get asked that all the time. I would need some type of evidence, the same way I would observe and test something that I do every single day, right? So I know I have the pin. I can drop the pin. I can test and know that the pin's here. I want, I would need something like that. It doesn't have to be that exact example, but something like that, because faith in the book in and of itself aren't enough for me.
So being an atheist, like you yourself are an atheist, what do you see when you die?
Absolutely nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
Just like, do you remember what it was like before?
What I see is hell. Hell, to me, is absolutely nothing. Me, myself, absolutely nothing.
So, do you remember what it was like before you were born? Was that hell also? See what I'm saying? Because it's the same.
What do you mean before I was born?
Like before you were ever here. Do you remember what it was like before you existed? Yeah. And so as an atheist and a skeptic, my position is that I think we go to a place of non-existence again, just like we did not exist before we were born.
So that interests me that you have that belief.
I get that belief because I have, like, me myself, like, I have battled with myself, like, should I be a Christian or should I be essentially an atheist? Like, essentially, I think that an atheist would be an easier belief because I'm like, we're here, I'm here, I'm living, what I do, is what I do, it doesn't matter. And in the end, I die, that's what it is.
And I think that's the easier route. Like you're gonna live a more selfish life. You're gonna say, okay, these are the things that I want, these are the things that I care about, and I'm gonna make sure I do everything I can do to like live a happy life. But for me, like personally, this is not saying that this is how someone needs to live, but like personally, like I'm gonna live a happier life if I live very modestly, but like can show love to other people and bring other people to the same belief that I believe. And I think that we all want a slap in the face from God. Like we all want God to say, listen, I'm real. This is the plan that I have for your life. Like this is what you need to do. If we all had that, then there's no such thing as faith. Faith doesn't exist because God is slapping everyone in the face.
I don't think there'd be anything wrong with that.
Like you want a slap in the face. Like
if that's what he wants, if that's what needs to happen for me to know that he's real, if he wants to like physically slap me in the face, that we can do that too.
Not physically. we want God to, like, people who don't even have belief say, God, like, speak to me if you're real. And what if he doesn't speak? What if he doesn't say
He doesn't speak, but it's like.
But if God really, the all, the all-knowing, all-loving, the omni attributes of Yahweh God, if he really, really loved me and he cared about me, because it says that, he loved me so much that he knows the number of hairs on my head. He knew before, I was formed in my mother's womb, he knew me. If that's the case and he really has that deep of a love for me, why wouldn't he show himself to me the way I need to know? Because it's just like, if your partner, your spouse, or what have you.
What is the way? Like, how would he show you? To you?
Like I said, I would need to be able to observe and see and measure to know that this thing is true, just like I would anything else in my life. I have to apply the same. I have to apply the same formula with the God claim or the God's existence as I do everything else, because that's how we know we're being consistent.
See, in my mind, I feel like that's how God is testing us.
Can I ask you a question? Why, if God is all-knowing, he's Alpha and Omega, beginning and the end, why does he have to test? Why is the test required? Why is that necessary?
Because he's giving us free will.
Yeah. He's like, he
Interesting.
wants to
Okay.
show us who we are as a person. I feel like.
So what is, to you, your definition? What is free will?
Free will is to decide, the decision to make, to do anything you want to do. If you want to rebel against God, if you want to, like, God, like, there's an enemy, right? If you believe in God, then you also believe in Satan. There's an enemy, right? And God wants you to trust him. And if you don't trust in him, then, like, you're not on his side. And
I feel like it's doing good for the world. Like, do everything you can every day to, whether it's like to make one person feel good or do good for the world, like day by day.
I mean,
try to do what you can.
yeah, I look at this world, and, like, if I was an atheist, I'm just putting my, like, I never will be, but if I was an atheist, like,
I said that once.
well, yeah, that's okay.
I'm messing with you.
No, you're good. Like, if I was an atheist, I don't know where I would put my hope. Like, I would look at the world and say,
No, I've
This is
been there.
this is
No, I
completely
really
messed up.
have
Like,
been there.
and that's why I'm okay with what's happening. Like, I don't agree with everything that happens in the world. I don't agree with anything that's happening in the world almost. But, like, I'm okay with it because this world is temporary to me.
No, I've definitely been there where I'm like, it would be so much easier to be like not believe in God at all and just live your day by day life for yourself, not care about anybody else in the world. But
And I will push back a little bit there, because there is this common misconception that atheists are these sin-loving, devil-worshipping, God-hating, selfish pricks,
Who
and
said that?
we hear that. We hear it all the time. Yeah, I'm saying generally.
Okay.
Generally, I'm sorry, not you two.
Yeah.
And like here in Fort Wayne, I do homeless stuff all the time. Feeding, clothing, sleeping bags. I do any type of charity stuff I can do. Like, I go out of my way because not only are atheists in a position where they just lack a belief, or they it's absence of belief. Most, not all, most of us are humanitarians, and we do the best we can do to contribute to society and contribute to the person or people next to us, regardless of whether that person believes or doesn't believe. So I do have to push back a little bit there because I don't think you were directing that straight at me, but to assume that it's just I live my life as I'm gonna do me. I don't care what anybody else thinks. I don't care how it impacts anybody else. That would be not be accurate of most of the, not all, but most of the atheists that
I agree
that
with
I
what you're saying.
that I talk to.
I, as a person, as a human being, taking religion out of it, I think that humans are generally wired to be good people. Given the circumstances that some people are brought up in, they may not make the best decisions, but I think generally, as a society, we all want to be good people. Unfortunately, good people who don't believe in God still suffer in the end, is what we believe. But I still have the belief that people are generally designed to be good and
Is that what does the Bible say that?
The Bible tells us to love.
Well, no, does it say that we are born inherently good?
No, the Bible tells us that we're born in sin.
God.
Yeah, and our faith is
We
filthy.
are born into sin. I struggle with sin every day.
Yeah.
Me myself.
What's sin?
What do you mean? What is sin?
What is sin? Let's pretend let's pretend I'm ignorant to all this. What's sin?
Question. I like that question.
Sex before marriage. That's me.
There's a lot of sins.
Cursing.
I mean, sins is anything.
I don't know.
It's anything that's dishonoring to God.
Yeah.
So if I were to tell you right now that you are wrong for what you believe, that would be a sin. I'm not going to come against you and tell you that you're wrong. If I tell you that you're wrong, that's a sin because I'm not loving you. I want to show love to everyone, and it's not my position to tell someone what they should believe. I just want to tell someone what I believe and tell them the hope that I have. But like, I mean, I could give you, if you give me 30 minutes, I can probably write down a list of things that are considered sins. But in my mind, a sin is something that's not honorable.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Okay. I had a question and it just my ADHD brain, I just lost it. Going back to the born. What Paul said. We were born with a depraved mind. How do you and both of you probably answer this. How do you ground that and make sense of that and accept that your creator that knows you and loves you and knew you before the earth, created you to be deplorable and nasty and sinful and disgusting? How do you ground that and accept that as part of a loving nature?
Me, I think it's just Satan's. What do you think?
Like God, when God first created man, he created man to like worship him. Adam and Eve were created, like Adam was created to worship God. Eve was brought into the world. Satan had now become a thing. Like once sin entered the world, now we as Christians, like we as people, we're not good enough. Like we had, like our hope lied in somewhere other than ourselves.
I don't think it's us being not good enough, but I think it's like what has been created not being good enough. Us being tested against that and trying to avoid that. I don't know, just being
yeah, I don't know. That's actually a loaded question because like there's things that happen before man walked the earth. Like Satan fell from heaven, right? So Satan existed before man existed, and once Satan was once an angel, right? He fell from heaven, and now he's an enemy. Now you're talking about some pretty deep stuff, and I gotta admit I'm not the most educated on it, but like that's where my faith comes in. I believe everything the Bible says. I believe that like Satan tempted Adam and Eve, they fell victim to it. Sin entered the world, and now we as humans, like our eternity was dependent on where our faith lied, whether it was in the world, whether it was in God.
Okay, so and I promise last question on this one, and I'll give you guys my contact information. We can talk again. Going back to the faith part one last time, because it keeps naturally coming up in conversation. So we talked to a lot of different people from a lot of different places, and I have a friend of mine that is Muslim, and he was an atheist and converted to Muslim. He has the same strength or conviction in his faith or belief in Allah as you guys do Yahweh, God. Why is his faith and the reality and Allah existing wrong and yours right?
Me personally, I kind of see them as like different interpretations. I don't see Allah as like different from God. Me personally, I see them equal.
I would encourage you to, I'm making an assumption here, so please excuse me if I'm wrong, but I would encourage you to download the digital version or buy a Quran and go through it and I can promise you those are two different deities.
Sure. And actually, I just probably like 2 weeks ago heard that like the Quran is like based off of the Bible, and there's a lot of things that are in the Bible that are also the Quran.
Oh, there's absolutely borrowing going
And they
on.
merged with the drinker law
So-
firm now the bakery
I
drink.
mean, it's honestly like I think it's like different interpretations.
Maybe I don't know.
But I mean, that's how I see it.
But just
I mean,
I'm just talking about the faith though. Let's leave the books out. Just the faith, because
I mean,
the
honestly,
faith is
I don't
the.
know a lot about the Muslim faith, personally.
Well, I'm sorry. It's my fault. I'm not being clear. So when I'm saying faith, I'm talking about the mechanism, or the method to get to the God, to arrive at the God. However they.
What is that?
So if faith is the vehicle or the method to get us to a God, any God, right? Why is your faith more correct or more accurate than their faith?
Because I don't know what their faith is.
It's the same thing. It's a belief.
Yeah, and I don't know,
Yeah.
like, so when you ask that question, like, so my faith is based off the Bible, it's based off of God's word. So their faith is based off the Quran. I don't know enough about the Quran to give you an educated answer. I wish I could give you an educated answer. I just don't know. Like, I believe in the Bible, so my faith is based off.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Like, you believe in what you believe. We do our best to live life and treat people equally. Like, give people love. And that's what it is. Like, when you go day by day life, trying to give people love, treat people equally, and like where you end up in the end, it's like it is what it is.
Well,
So I see it. I don't know.
that we can agree on. It is what it is.
It is what it is. I don't know.
And like, just to make this clear, like, I don't believe our job as Christians is to like get into people's faces and tell them that they're wrong.
Yeah, like you have to believe this. You have to believe this. This.
That's
I don't think that's it at all.
there's a
Like,
misconception.
I think
Yeah, and I'm saying this because I'm in front of a video camera, like, I'm saying this couldn't be an interview. Like, there's a misconception about Christianity. The people who are out there getting in people's faces, telling them that they're wrong. It's not our jobs as humans to change people's hearts. I can't change your heart. I can plant a seed, and I can tell you this is what I believe, this is why I believe it, but I can't change your heart. God is the only one who can change them. So, as Christians, like, those people who are out there getting in people's face saying, hey, you're going to hell for this, like, you're wrong because you believe this. I don't agree with that. Like, the only thing I can do is plant a seed, and God is the one who's going to work on someone's heart. So, like, I would love to see that misconception change. They probably won't. Like, we live in a world where people are radicals. People are going to continue to get in people's faces, and it's wrong. It's like, I'm not gonna tell you that you're wrong.
it
It's
is
like,
what
you're
it
not gonna tell
is.
me that
I
I'm
mean,
wrong.
yeah, we have to treat people nicely, and we have to treat people with love. I mean, it is what it is.
And yeah, God tugs on people's hearts, and I believe that to the fullest. No one, like, I believe everyone has an opportunity to believe in God and feel that tug. I just want to say that.
No, you're good. And I agree. There's I know some really cool ass Christians that I'm friends with and still friends with, and I think they're amazing people. And I have others that, pardon my language, are assholes. But there's also atheists that I think the same thing about, for the record. Every group has a bad apple or two, in it. So to be consistent and fair in that. But before you guys go, any other questions or anything for me? Okay,
I
let me write.
really enjoyed this conversation.
Me too. Thank you guys for stopping.
I don't know if we got you anywhere.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
We've only had a few
hopefully we gave good
drinks.
answers.
What's your YouTube?
The Atheist Network Group.
The Atheist. All right, I'll join it.
And we have fun. It's not we have episodes like this. We have comedy stuff, like there's a bunch of everything on there. So
I totally get where you're coming from, though. Like, I had a really good friend in a youth group, and when he left, he became an atheist. And I didn't understand it at all, but like, part of me gets it and part of me doesn't. You know what I mean?
So
yeah,
Part
it
of
wasn't
me's-
the walking away from 30 plus years of believing in something, and I mean I was a full-time drummer. I oversaw the small groups. It's not like I just showed up every once in a while. To walk away from it, it's people think it's easy. It's not easy to deconstruct a belief and a faith for that long. It's
Are
not.
you nervous about?
Oh, I am.
What do you?
To
what do you
be
think?
honest, I this is the most free the last 4 years of my life, the more free I've ever felt, because I don't have to worry about the dogma. I don't have to worry about if I do this or I don't do this, because it's like if that's even if tomorrow God gave me the slap in the face, I'm still not buying into that you have all of like this checklist in order for me to get a prize, because to me that's not free will. And that's another one of my favorite conversations, but I left it alone because I can go off on a tangent on that. But if I'm going to have a relationship with a God, I want that God to actually love me, like when I hear all loving, like he should. Because like with my wife, she doesn't have a checklist of things. She doesn't require me to worship her, or
what's the definition of all loving to you? Does that mean
good
like
question. All loving to me is would not cause how do I want to say it? Would not cause unnecessary pain, hurt, things like that.
Okay, so this
I
might
don't-
sound
I
stupid,
don't see
but like
God doing that,
there's a lot of
but-
unnecessary pain in our lives. Like it can stretch from I sprained my ankle to like I just had a bad day, my boss yelled at me. Like there's a lot of unnecessary pain in our
Absolutely.
life. And like God calls us to trust that no matter what happens in our day, he still loves us. He still has a plan. He wants us to trust in that plan. And
It's so hard. Like
it is
it
hard.
really
Like,
is hard.
I don't think atheists are stupid, because like
No, I don't think that
it
at
would
all
be very
either.
easy to not believe in God. Like he's not in front of our faces. He's not saying, "Hey, I'm here. This is the plan I have for you." That's to me. You can't define faith in any other way than trusting without seeing. Like I can't see what it is, but I'm gonna believe
I
it.
completely agree with you on that definition.
And like,
and where we disagree is you view that as a reliable method, and I do not. That does not work for me personally, and that's why we do this, is trying to figure that out and how people get to where they're at, why they believe.
So let me ask you a question. Like, not like anything to. I don't want to be derogatory anyway, but why are you doing this right now? Like, why do you care what people believe?
Well, one, because I care about people, and even if people walk away and nothing changed, they had no questions, or whatever it is, I think it's healthy for all of us to do this and examine why we believe in, and do we have good reasons to believe in what we believe in, because people can believe in correct things or true things for bad reasons, or vice versa, right? So it's and I love talking to people.
So even though you're no longer a Christian, you no longer believe in God, do you still believe that lifestyle is a good thing?
What lifestyle?
The lifestyle of a Christian, to love people.
Oh, if we're just talking about the tenets of love and taking care of each other and all that, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So what do you see as negative when it comes to Christianity?
Oh man. Well, have a seat. No, I'm just kidding. Without giving a long-winded answer. I've just seen and continue to see the negatives and the in a lot of cases, I hate saying it, but toxic impacts that religion, not just Christianity, but religion has on people, on societies, on organizations, things like that.
What kind of toxic things?
I mean, if we started with the Catholic Church.
Well, I don't know a lot about Catholicism,
Yeah,
so
not Catholic.
I can't speak.
Okay,
Um,
they're a little extreme.
Yeah.
Well, but they,
I
even
agree
if
with
there was a big can't remember how many churches are involved now down in the Bible Belt. I believe it was the Southern Baptist, part of the Southern Baptist just got busted for some of the similar stuff that the Catholic Church did. And that's just me kind of glazing, because I don't want you guys to feel like I'm attacking, what you're sharing with me right now, because you guys have been awesome and fair the entire time. So I don't want you to have a bad taste in your mouth walking away. But I've just seen it. I've seen that, and then in my time in church, and the last however many years, I was, in ministry basically, and there's the religion does offer some good benefits. Don't I'm not throwing the baby out with the bathwater. The hospitals and the money and stuff that they put overseas, and things like that. Like that's a no-brainer, right? But it's the underbelly that nobody talks about that has ruined a lot of lives.
What's the underbelly?
Whether it's the child abuse scandals that happen, the way the LGBTQ plus community is treated within churches. I mean, you go on and on and on, and it's like,
so those sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, but like those churches who are hating on those people or whatever, like that's not a good view of Christianity. Like we're still called to love.
Yeah.
The Bible says
there's a lot of churches out there that are not a good representation of what Christianity is about.
Well, and see, that's another issue of mine. To then piggyback on what we were just saying, that's another issue with not just my not believing in the God, but also the issue with church or Christianity, especially here in America.
Yeah.
How in the world do I know who has the right interpretation? How in the world do I know who's doing the right thing? Because everybody, and this is no slight to you guys, but you don't know how many times I hear that.
I don't think it's about trying to follow who's doing what right. I think it's about doing what you know in your heart is right, and not following a crowd. Like I don't know. Like
then,
I think God shows us.
And I'm saying this jokingly, but here's my remedy, and we'll start there. Let's throw the Bible out, because that's usually the root of the issues. Is everybody has their own interpretation of the book, and then we have
who actually reads the book. Let me tell you that. Who actually
the
reads
atheists?
the book?
The atheists?
No, I know. There's. I bet I am willing to bet money that there's atheists that know the Bible better than me.
Oh yeah.
And I'm okay with that because
the Bible is fucked up. You believe that? The Bible is fucked up.
I agree.
Right?
The Old Testament is, yeah.
It is messed up. Like.
Well, actually,
No.
Jesus put his stamp on the Old Testament. When I hear that, I'm like, I mean, he said that, or it was said of him, he did not come to abolish the law. He came to fulfill the law, and that the law should not change, not one stroke, not one iota. So Jesus didn't come and do away with it. He signed off on it and said, nope, all that shit that happened, it's still cool. And they still endorse slavery and
but
killing homosexuals and.
Okay, so like I understand. Like I understand fully. Like if I put myself in an atheist shoes, I would say, okay, why does like starvation exist? Why do abortions exist? Why do all these bad things that happen exist? And And that's a tough question to answer. And
I really think it's just God testing us.
And honestly, like those kids who are aborted, like I believe that they're actually kind of lucky. They go straight to heaven. They're saved. A child, the Bible says, is saved. So like, although I don't agree with abortions, like I also am not the like crazy person that's gonna get in your face and say if you get an abortion, like you're just the worst person ever. Like I think that child is in heaven, you know. I don't know. I think same thing with slavery. Like, yeah, they lived a rough life here on earth, but those slaves may have had the opportunity to know Jesus and have their faith. And if they were killed through their slavery, like who's the real winner in that situation? They're in heaven. And
yeah, that's just giving God an out.
God, no, what do you mean?
That's saying, well, it's okay that God endorsed slavery because these people may have went to heaven.
This life doesn't matter.
It doesn't.
Like,
okay.
What's after this
so slavery.
is what matters.
So slaves look to us, like me and you, like slaves look like they have it pretty rough. There's like millionaires.
Pretty rough. I mean,
Yeah, they have it rough. Yeah, you look at a slave and you say, okay, that's a rough life. But then put us in, taking us level up. Okay, there's millionaires that do nothing, and they're gonna look at people like you and me, and they're like, okay, those people are working their lives away. They have it rough. There's levels. There's different levels of they have it rough. Okay, so like to put it on the level of slavery, oh, they were whatever, they were abused, they were just taken advantage of. But like us as human beings, I can be taken advantage of just like you can.
Would you let me own you as a slave?
Would I let you? I probably wouldn't let you. No.
I mean, let's say like you didn't have a choice. Like I paid. I own rights. Like I own rights to you. You're my property now.
It wouldn't change the way I view anything. Like,
but would you let me own you as property?
If it was the law, then yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
Like I don't know what I would do about it. Like,
I would see it as like God, how do you want me to view this situation?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
And I know that's easy to say because I'm not actually.
I mean, how else do you view it? You're like.
Oh, I'll tell you, my answer is hell no. I'm running.
Well, okay.
It ain't going down like that.
I don't know. Like it's just different when you have a higher hope. Like
yeah,
and like
it is.
I have a house right now. If I lost my house, if I lost everything around me, like my mindset wouldn't change a whole lot. I'd be disappointed, but like
damn,
my hope is in
my
hope is in a higher place, and that's what like I don't know. I can't really explain it. It's great. It's a great feeling. Like anything can happen to me, and I would have that higher hope no matter what.
It's like positive energy. Like I don't know, positive outlooks. I mean,
no, like positivity and looking at life through those lenses. I'm all about that. I want people to be happy. I want you guys to be happy. My friends to be happy. I personally don't need any deity to feel that way, and to want to do the best I can do, not just for me, but for you guys. If you needed help, you were over here and homeless and didn't have anything, and I had it to give it to you. I've shown for myself that I can do that minus the belief or the faith or the God. So I'm not out here trying to take it away from people. I just want to know why they believe. So
no, I appreciate that. No, this has been great. And like I'm not gonna sit here and tell you
why you're wrong or why you're not wrong or doesn't matter.
Yeah, I'm sorry, that was kind of weird.
Oh, he was
stuck for a second.
He was talking to me earlier. So.
Oh, okay.
He was like, okay, sorry. Yeah, I'm not gonna sit here and tell you you're wrong because I do not want to do that. What I do want to say is the fact that you are doing this right now and having this conversation and you're set up here with a table and a webcam and a computer, to me, it feels like there's a tug on your heart, and like there may be a seed that's planted, and like I'm not here to tell you that you need to believe something that you used to believe and now you don't, but like I don't know, I kind of have, even though you don't believe it right now, I kind of have a hope that you will at some point.
Well, there's a lot of people in my family that have that same.
Yeah, and I don't know. I just wanted to say that, like, I'm not going to tell you that you're wrong. Like, I don't want to say that, but like, the fact that you're doing this right now tells me that you still question things. You still have the thought.
Oh, I want truth. If there is a God, I want. You know, one of the things that I hear a lot, and now I say it a lot, is I want to know more true things than not. So if it is true, I want to know it. You know, I don't want to believe things that aren't true. You know, so if we use the word truth in there, then yes, I'm always seeking truth. You know, but there has to be certain standards of evidence, you know, to get there.
I think you're fine.
We'll see. I'm hunting.
Yeah, I know you are. I can tell you are. I can tell.
I want a hug.
Yeah. No, dude, this is great. We gotta go because we have friends that are waiting.
Yeah,
on
I know they're
like,
mad. Tell them all I said sorry.
No, you're good, man. I appreciate it.
Cool. Thanks, guys.
It was good talking to you.
You too.
Thanks a lot.
All right, guys. So, first one went on a little longer than I would have liked, but they wanted to keep talking, so I kept on talking, and kind of got off track a little bit there in the middle, but I wanted them to feel like they were, you know, they were able to, you know, ask questions and engage and so on and so forth. So, but yeah, I'll jump back on when I get home, and we can kind of do a review. And we can talk about it, but yeah, but everybody's hanging out. 30-something folks watching my first one. I appreciate it, man. Thank you. So, yeah, when I get home and make sure Mrs. Oz is resting and doing well, jump on and we can chat. But thanks you guys for hanging out with me and my friends Kirsten and Amanda, and I will holla.
Yeah. It's the Tang Gang. Yeah, it's the Tang Gang. Tang Gang. It's the Tang Gang. Tang Gang. Yeah, it's the Tang Gang. Tang Gang. Yeah, it's the Tang Gang. Tang Gang. Yeah, it's the Tang Gang. Yeah. It's the Tang Gang. Tang Gang. Tang Gang. Tang Gang. Yeah, it's the Tang Gang. Yeah, I got an idea. Let's take these beliefs and bad ideas and let's stack them up. Stack them up and see if these people can back them up. And if not, this is what you can do, is just pack them up and go on your way. Cause you should have known, everybody at Tang, we don't play now. Yeah, we need that evidence. We need that evidence to to make shit relevant. So what you saying? What you saying, man? Can you prove it? What you doing? Let's do it. Y'all already know. Y'all already know. Tang gang. 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 Y'all already know. Y'all already know. Tang gang.